So let's continue the conversation this morning. It's quite unfortunate. Insecurity still bedeviling the country, but the latest is that kidnappers abducted passengers of two Abuja-bound buses in Inele Eteke Ogugu New Road area of Kogi East District, and the incident is involving two transport buses, one belonging to GIG and the other one ABC, both heading to Abuja from the eastern part of the country. That of GIG left Umahia on Saturday at 7:30 a.m. on its way to Abuja, the nation's seat of power. And this is coming in the wake of abduction. The GIG contacted security services to track down the abductors. Kogi State Police Command has confirmed the incident, and the incident involved the GIG bus with 12 passengers and a Sienna bus belonging to ABC Transport with two occupants. But the driver of the GIG motors later was rescued by security operatives, although he said he escaped with injuries and machete cuts. And well, that's just to bring you up to speed on that. So this abduction is the latest in the kidnapping incidents that have continued to gain momentum in several parts of this country, despite efforts by security agencies and assurances from governments across different levels. Well, throughout last week, we spoke about the abduction of the school children and their teachers in Ekiti State, the two monarchs that were murdered, and also the other one that escaped. It's quite unfortunate. This weekend, about 55 persons in northwestern state of Katsina were kidnapped. They were kidnapped while escorting a bride.
They were coming back. They
Yes, along Damari
her
town to Sabua local government area of Katsina State. So it's quite unfortunate. We keep seeing this, and will you ask yourself what is really going on in the country in terms of security?
Yeah, when I saw this particular story, the one that happened around Inyele Eteke in Olamabro local government area, I felt the type of way, but because this was where I did my NYSC, Olamabro local government area.
So you know that place very well.
The local government.
Okay.
Yes. And when I did my NYSC, I can tell you that the place was peaceful. We didn't hear, because I remember when we left camp, we actually got to our LGA that day around 12 a.m. at night. From the
what year was that?
2014, 2015. You understand? So we drove all the way from camp from Asayakaba down to this local government, and we got there around 12 a.m. I got to my PPA, it was very late at night, and we didn't experience anything on the way. There was no stopping us, there was nothing like that. So that shows you how bad this thing is going. If you check it's not as if we didn't have some crimes happening in those like 2014, 2015, but now it's looking as if it's escalating. So you can't even say it's happening in this part of the country. It's as if it's happening in almost all parts of the country. It's as if it's just happening everywhere. And that's what we're talking about, these security issues. It needs to be, can we, you talked about state policing, and as much as I give it a nod, but I'm still saying, let's begin to look at the issues that are leading to all this kidnapping. Let's begin to look at it. The high cost of living. I am not trying to, justify crime. I would never do that. But can we take a critical look at why people, is as if every other day, more people are going into crime, because this is what it's looking like. It's as if every other day, more and more people are tilting towards crime, because it's looking as if this one now is now a lucrative job. Yesterday, we talked about how a family member said that the Ekiti pupils, they actually had to pay. And he mentioned some things that they had to give to the kidnappers: fried rice, cigarettes, energy drink, malt, before they could, release their loved ones. So something really needs to be done about this, and it needs to be done fast.
From my profiling of what is going on for a couple of weeks now, what I see is a sign of weakness from the government, which is also equipping these criminals to do more. That's one. When they see profound weakness, they will continue. You have to speak to them in the language or languages they understand. I said something last week while analyzing one of the days, analyzing on security. I said, meet madness with madness,
Madness.
equal madness with madness. When you tackle them head on, nobody will tell you before you know that it is not business as usual. But in a situation where you allow them collect 15 million, collect 20 million, collect those ones that were kidnapped in Kogi from Umahia, they were traveling from Umahia to Abuja, they were kidnapped in Kogi. They've reached out to some family members. They are requesting for 15 million
Hmm.
naira
The
as
husband of
ransom.
one of them. Yeah.
As ransom. And when you look at these people, they be collecting huge amount of money, 15 million, 100 million, 80 million, and they get paid. Are they the ones spending the money? Because pictures of those that have been caught doesn't show the kind of
Someone living a luxurious life.
someone that has 15 million,
Hmm.
20 million. Because
Hmm.
I'm a realist. I try to look at things from all angles,
Angles.
all possible angles. For the pictures and videos of those that have been caught, it doesn't show that this person once had access to 15 million naira or once had access to 20 million naira, except maybe the share given to the person is less than that. But that's for security operatives and the detectives to decipher. Now, measure madness with madness, tackle them head on. How? When you hear a particular case of a kidnapping, go straight to that place, trace calls, they reach out to the family members. We have the gadgets in this country, we do have them. If um if you're doubting me this morning, go find out what DSS do in this country. Those guys are well equipped. They are well equipped. They will track you down to that particular location that you are. They will track you down, except you are not using a telephone, except your SIM card is not connected to a network, it's not active in a phone. They will track you down. So now I'm asking, what is really going on? And if they track you, if they know the location, do they have enough manpower and firepower?
Which
There is
one?
manpower, there is firepower.
Yes.
Manpower, we know we have deficit of manpower because it took operatives from other states to get those guys in Ekiti. You know, they had to redeploy somebody from a neighboring state and another person from neighboring. Even Amotekun had to redeploy from neighboring Ondo state. So there is deficit of manpower, which is still saying a lot about the policing, the type of policing that we have in the country. You have to decentralize it. But that being said, there is need to um, face their firepower with the firepower. You know, these guys use sophisticated weapons from the testament of some
The victims.
victims. That the weapons are sophisticated and they are so comfortable that they are now demanding energy drink,
And food.
demanding fried rice, demanding black bullet. What's black bullet?
Why are you
I
asking
saw,
me?
I saw,
Why are you asking me?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know.
No,
I heard you say black bullets.
I didn't say that.
Was it yesterday?
That I said what?
Yes, you said black bullet.
Where and when?
In the newsroom. Because
Can
close
you
to the news.
ascertain what you're saying right now?
I
Do you have
can.
any evidence to back up what
I
you're
do.
saying? Okay,
I would
provide it.
never. All right. Anyway, it's unfortunate, but we try to downplay what is going on in the country because things are really getting tougher, and you're facing food security. You're also facing insecurity. This cost of living is going up, and every day you keep highlighting some of these things, you analyze and you wear a frown face. That's why sometimes we do our analysis in a way to downplay this because we know if we kill ourselves, we keep talking about it until we get a change.
You know, another angle to this right now is this issue of traveling by road. People are really going to become scared of it, and it's not everybody that can afford, flying. You understand?
Mm.
So it's going to affect a whole lot of things, even the transportation companies. Because before you, as I am now, it's going to take the grace of God for me to travel to some places by road. I'm not, because I'm scared of what could happen to me.
Mm.
So that's also another thing. So if people are not scared of traveling by road, transportation companies, how are they going to survive? Because that's how they make their money. There's so many angles to this that we are not even looking at
So
that aspect.
when something is, you try and find a solution.
That's it.
If there is no solution in plan A is the government rising up to
The
the
occasion.
occasion. Then plan B is to reduce the way you travel.
Right.
That's the plan B. If the
Right.
plan B is not working, the unnecessary traveling is not even encouraged now.
Telling you.
That is how you can help yourself.
True.
Unnecessary traveling is not
You
encouraged.
can do Zoom
Then-
meeting, video calls, and
Then
you know.
live your life in a very modest way. It's not bad that God blessed you,
Mm.
but be sensitive to your environment.
Yes.
This is not the time that you show off. It is not the time that you show off.
And make some certain calls in public transportation. You don't know who the other
Especially,
passenger.
especially on social media,
Yeah.
because social media life is, one thing that it's very fake. Very fake. You want to show off to your enemies in the village, your enemies in the town,
Your
that
followers.
you've arrived.
Eh.
Then you now live a fake life, and yet somebody is targeting you and say, "Hey, you get money, you will now be a kidnapped victim." God forbid. So it's a time that you have to be modest, be sensitive, and that's one of the things that is getting Nigerians angry. You know what? Though some persons at the helm of affairs, they are living a flamboyant life,
Yes.
and the government is telling us to
Down it on our own.
exactly.
But,
Then
you know,
that is where the problem is coming.
Mm.
It's coming.
they're not
they
living
say-
by example. That's the point.
It took Nigerians to rant about the cost of governance before the president reduced the number of aides
Yes.
that's traveling with him.
Yes.
What about the convoy? The number of cars in convoys to cost of living is going up, but cost of governance is also going up. So how do you counterbalance it? But then that is on their own, on your own. Even in your area, it's been there. Be your own security. In streets, you guys should form a security committee. Have your vigilantes that you pay maybe monthly or weekly to safeguard you. At this point, you have to safeguard yourselves. It's very important.
Because Plan A is not holding.
Plan
for-
A
yeah.
doesn't work, you go to plan B. If plan B doesn't work, you safeguard yourself.
Mm.
You don't wait till Jaguda boys like Tata we call them to come and invade your community or we
Boys,
invade before you take proactive measures against it.
but it's really
Fortify your street, fortify
It's
your
really saddening.
get gates, or there are some security. It's been there. It's just that we relaxed.
You know why I say it's really saddening?
Mm.
Because at the end of the day, we still pay our taxes, and the governments are not holding their own part of the bargain.
We cannot be.
That's the point.
We cannot keep
know,
seeing
I
a
understand.
madman every day and we will still laugh. This person is
No,
mad.
I
You
understand.
take another route.
True. But I'm saying that if you really want to look at it critically, why am I paying taxes? Why am I doing so? When I'm holding on to my own part of the bargain, but the
Mm.
government of the day they are not. So someone finishes paying taxes, and at the end of the day, you still have to pay another extra security outfit in order for you to be able to sleep with your two eyes closed and all that. But it's a reality we are facing in the country, and everybody, you just have to brace up to it.
All right. We'll take a break now. When we return, we're going to talk about the cost of living in the country. There was a protest in Niger State yesterday over the rising cost of living. The governors too went straight to the Ministry of Agriculture. We're going to tell you what they are saying. And of course, we'll tie this with the constant fall of Naira. Because these are the stories we've got for you this morning. Stay tuned. It's Issues and Views right here on Enyimba 94.3 FM. Abba.
Christ for All Nations CFAN, in conjunction with all Christian churches in Aba and Umahia, announces Great Gospel Crusade
with evangelist Daniel Kolenda, the successor of evangelist Reinhard Bonnke.
Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. Say amen.
Dates Wednesday, 21st February to Sunday, 25th February 2024. Venue Ungwa High School, Osisioma for Aba Region 1.
And Meteorological Complex opposite Obiungo Town Planning Authority along Omokaleka Road from Obikabe Junction for Region 3, all happening same time, 4 p.m.
Also on 29th February to 3rd March 2024 by 4 p.m. at two different venues. One at Okpara Square, Umahia for Region 4.
National High School along Porakot Road, Ugunabo for Region 2.
Featuring healings, miracles, deliverance, God's word.
The blind will see, the lame will work, businesses will flourish again.
Come, listen, and receive the blessings of God.
Jesus is Lord.
Nauda Institute of Agribusiness and Entrepreneurship, located at Umugoji, Amiyi Village, Isialopu Autonomous Community, Osisiomangwa Local Government Area of Abia State, is calling for applications in the following fields: registrar, provost, lecturers, principal, teachers, counselors, head teacher. To apply, kindly visit our website at www.nauda.gov.ng. Announcer, Management. Please listen to this general announcement. Area Displaced Aloti Traders is reminding the general public that the Abia State Judicial Panel of Inquiry on the Discovery of Government Properties, Funds, and Related Matters, led by Justice Florence Duro Haigwe, retired, has restrained Blessing Hankins International Company, the developer for the remodeling of Area International Market, and the Commissioner for Trade and Investment from further sales and alienation of the remodeling stores at the market. They are to desist from any further action until Abia State Governor Dr. Alex Shoma Oti takes a final decision on the interim report of the panel. The general public, especially Arara International Traders, should take note to avoid being defrauded. Announcer, Arara Displaced Aloti Traders Association.
Please listen to this announcement. Deeper Life Bible Church Bethel Mega Group, Abia State 2, present a 4-day crusade captioned Supernatural Encounter with the God of Wonders. Features salvation, healing, deliverance, and lots more. Date Thursday 8 to Sunday 11th February 2024. Venue Deeper Life Bible Church, number 105 Old Express Road, Aba. Ministering Pastor Jude Chukwacha, Abia State 2 Overseer. Host Minister Pastor Mbamara Gabriel, Deeper Life Bible Church Bethel Mega Group Coordinator.
And now, issues and views.
Yes, indeed. The second half of the program is upon us, issues and views, right here on Enyimba 94.3 FM. We're streaming live on our YouTube page, Enyimba TV. Join the conversation there. We also have the topics listed there on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Enyimba 943 FM. Yes, indeed. Drop your comments under the topics that we've listed. We're also very active on WhatsApp. The WhatsApp line is 0809-666-0943. Very soon, we will throw the lines open for you to share your thoughts with us. All right. Can we move on now? Yes, indeed. Let's continue the conversation this morning, talking about the protest in Niger State yesterday. It came as a shock to many residents blocking the road, protesting high cost of living. Some residents of Mina, capital city of Niger State, they blocked major roads in the metropolis to protest the rising cost of living. They could hear voices for the protesters chanting Hausa slogans while bemoaning the economic hardship and inflation. inflationary pressure they are daily grappling with. Of course, it came as a shock to many. The governor, the deputy governor was there, and Yakubu Garuba, he tried to pacify the crowd and calm frayed nerves, but he couldn't. He went back. It took minimal force, according to police, although tear gas was fired to disperse the protesters. Garuba said the state government is doing everything in its power to ensure the residents are able to afford essential commodities. Niger State. Goodness.
I really I really feel bad about this story, and it's not even that we are protesting about insecurity. We are now protesting about feeding. This is how bad things have gotten in this country. People are talking about, like, I mean, have you been to the market recently? Because if you have been to the market, maybe you will have an idea of what is really happening. Things are not getting any better. That's just the truth. If you go to markets, this is why I encourage someone. If you want to buy something and you have the money, buy it there and then. Don't say I will come back tomorrow. If you come back tomorrow, I can assure you the price is no longer the same. That's just the reality we are facing. So you go to market today and you price something. In the next 2 days, you go back to the market to purchase what you've already ordered from the person. And they tell you, no, I'm not selling that price again. Why? Because their supplier might have called them to tell them this is now what we are selling this, so that you know how you are selling. So they have to increase it so that they will also be able to buy another one to stock up when they are done with the ones they have. It's a reality we are facing. And the question is, how many families can even afford it? As a single person, I know I'm managing myself. Now let's talk about family that is made up of, say, husband, wife, and the children. How are they surviving? That's the question. This is what is facing us. Is the reality that all of us in the country we are facing right now. It's no matter how rich, or you will still go to the same market that all of us go to buy the same thing. You might be able to afford it, but how many persons, how many people can actually afford it in the country? Something really needs to be done about this. We also need to look towards the angle of agriculture, because that's another aspect we need to look at. Having more farmers, planting. But then we also have the issue of insecurity, which sometimes also discourages farmers from going to their farms and all that. So there are so many angles to this. It's not just about the farming aspect of it, also the insecurity aspects of it. So let's look at it from different angles so that we can know how to go about it. People are really going through a whole lot. If you can afford to eat 3 square meal a day, these days, you might not really understand what other people are going through. So I think even NANS and other people are also calling on the government, the President Tinubu, to look into it, because it's really getting out of hand, and I wonder how some families are surviving.
The president, the presidency, the governors, the subnationals, the government need to watch it. It is starting with Niger State. I predicted it here some weeks ago. I said they need to watch it. God forbid it turns to a nationwide protest. It may not be. It may be a far cry from what will happen. Maybe a far cry from what happened during the last nationwide protest.
Yeah.
Something will lead to another thing. There is so much anger built up in the people right now. Yesterday, the governors of Kwara, Abdurrahman Abdurrazak, Taraba, Agbo Kefas, Ondo, Loki Ayedatiwa, and Kogi, Ahmed Ododo, they stormed Abuja headquarters of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security to push for increased crop production to ensure food security in Nigeria. They went there to avert the food crisis in the country. And there is one thing, there is food crisis in Nigeria. And I'm asking, what is the root cause of this problem we are facing? It is the removal of fuel subsidy. What about the palliatives promised? We forget things easily in Nigeria. There were some things ruled out by President Bola Tinubu, who is presently on a private visit in Paris, and we don't know when he will be back. And the king in the UK had cancer, and it was published. even the processes and everything was made known. I just decided
Was
to mention
clear.
that for transparency's sake. This
Yes.
is what public officers are expected to do. But that's on the side. Remember, in that intervention ruled out by the federal government, then they said there will be cultivation of grains, right? Has the federal government started? That's a big question I'm asking now.
Like the sodium
Because
flow.
what is going on right now, what happened in Niger State, is a reflection of what is happening in other states of the federation. It's just
Yes.
that Niger State guys were able to take the bull by the horn to speak out what they are going through in the country. They said the farmland will be provided for cultivation of some crops, some grains, which was part of the palliative giving. We even have something that is worse. Those villages and communities that are presently ravaged, especially in the north central, by insecurity,
Yes.
it
talked
will
about it.
affect food circulation in
Yes.
the next harvest season, especially Benue State. They call it the food basket, of the nation, and that's
Yes.
because they're so much into agriculture, especially Agatu local government area.
They have
They
surplus.
have a lot of their land is very fertile. They have food, and they go into agriculture, and the surplus is being taken to other parts of the
the
country.
country.
That's for that. Then the issue of sensitivity is also very important. Sensitivity, because Atiku spoke about this over the weekend, and he was replied by one of the spokespersons to President Bola Tinubu. It was Bayo
Bayo
Nanuga,
Onanuga.
when he replied and said Nigerian cost of living is lowest in Africa. Here, or even if it is lowest, does it mean that we should be going through this difficult time? It was the same thing that the governor of
Kwara State.
said yesterday when he spoke to press after that meeting at the Ministry of Agriculture in Abuja. He said that Nigeria remains the most affordable in West Africa. That food in Nigeria rather remains the most affordable in West Africa. Sensitivity is very important because the president has also come out himself to say that he didn't plan to remove subsidy initially because that particular paragraph was inserted into his inauguration speech, which is what is giving us problem now. I'm not against subsidy removal, but I'm against haphazard policy implementation, which we call somersault, and that is what is going on right now in the country. Let's do a bit of calculation on the show this morning. Some years ago, the minimum wage was around 18,000. If you convert it to dollar with the exchange rate, then it was a little above $100. Right now, the minimum wage is 30,000. If you convert it to dollar, it is around 20 something dollars.
$21.
So it gives you so compare it, even though it was 18 then, it was around $100, but right now over $100, but right now it's a little above $20. So it gives you the insight into how valueless our currency is right now. Do you know that 40 years ago, the minimum wage is relatively better, even though in terms of numerical strength, they will say our minimum wage then was around 7,000 naira, was around 9,000 naira. But the value of naira was very strong, that if you take it to the market, you have a very strong purchasing power. You can buy things.
Economy was okay.
And you keep the change in your pocket. And that is not what we are getting now. You know, the hypocrisy in all this, Mary. 10 years ago, it was about 10 years ago now that we had the subsidy nationwide protest in this country. These set of persons that are in government today were the same person
that protested,
that were at Unity Fountain in Lagos and this other square, Unity Fountain in Abuja and this other square in Lagos, that protested against subsidy removal. Do you know that if we had removed subsidy 10 years ago, it would have been better
Now,
than now? Subsidy removal is good, but it should be well planned.
planned. That's what we are saying.
How do you remove it is another case.
Mm.
What about phasal removal? You remove it in phases.
Yes.
It would have been better. Right now, with all calculation, we are still paying subsidy because there is no justification around it that dollar is increasing
Yes.
and the fuel remains at 680.
Exactly.
And it is acceptable because any hike in fuel price right now in Nigeria might lead to crisis, nationwide protests,
Exactly.
which might be very difficult for security operatives to contain.
And I just wanted to add something to what you said, Michael. You know, you talked about the palliatives. Someone actually called some time on the show last week and talked about, you remember the 2 billion naira that was sent to us as a state, and we were told it was going to be channeled into transportation, and we're yet to hear anything about it. See, let me tell you, mentioned
Mary,
no,
I should
hold
keep
on,
your
hold
mind
on,
in that
hold
money.
on,
That
hold
money
on.
don't go.
No, it shouldn't. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me say something, because you said something. The government, the state, the federal government, the state government, subnationals, all hands has to be on deck. We cannot leave it for the federal government alone. So anything that the state can do also to also help the people you are leading will be welcomed. It will be a good idea. So what we were told it was going to go into transportation, and we have not been told as to how it's going to run. Is it that we're going to be receiving free buses? You know, as I'm going home, I will get a free ride. Let it know. This is what
Mary,
is it
Mary,
not part of transparency in governance?
I
Why
have
are you
mo-
calling
I have
Mary?
moved on.
I'm not moving on. I've not moved on.
I've
not
moved
moved.
on.
I don't know how many persons were able to get the rice, because we said trucks of rice. I don't want to get into rice because I can afford that one. But this transportation, can it cut across for everybody? At least let's have an idea of what it is. What do you mean? Let me understand. What do you mean by you have moved on?
I have moved on.
How?
Because I never believed right from the onset
You didn't believe that the money was sent or what?
It will get to those that need it. That was why I moved on
Or
already.
do you
even
believe
before
that
they
the
shared
money
it.
was sent?
Yes, I believe. They said it. Federal government said it. It was meant to be paid in tranches. 5 billion. 2 billion was paid. Still, some states are yet to account
for the 2
for
billion
the 2
naira
billion that was paid. We don't even know if the remaining 3 billion has been paid. And it is part of what was it called now? What was said to cushion the palliative? Is it not the same? Is
the
it not
removal of subsidy.
Is it not in the same document that they said they will start cultivating land? I have moved on, Mary.
No. Let me. Why I'm saying this is, Michael, sometimes when things happen in this country, we hold on to the federal, which is okay. I'm not against holding on to the federal.
Yeah.
But then we tend to forget that we also have leaders in the state. We have them in the state. And sometimes
you have a good point.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes we also need to look at that angle. I'm not against talking about calling on President Bola Tinubu to do this, calling on, but at least the ones that are meant for the state, what is being done about it? Questions should be asked. We shouldn't keep quiet and say, I have not moved on, and I'm not moving on. Let's know exactly what is happening. The money is said to be was planned to go into transportation, and that's the last we have heard about the money. If there is anything, any other plan or any other thing the money has been channeled into, is transparency in government. The people need to know. We can't just be calling on the federal government all the time without also holding the state government accountable.
It's quite unfortunate. But just before we throw the lines open, I just want to talk about this like a conclusion. Hunger is violence. You know, many freaks, upheavals, misfortunes of history were fashioned by hunger. In 1979, 14th of April 1979 to be precise, the same reply that Bayo Onanuga gave was what the then Liberia President Tolbert, gave, and said that was when the cost of rice went up in Liberia. It was around $22. Family income was around $80, and the people protested. They said, why complain that the cost of living is relatively the cheapest in Africa? Then that was 1979, and it led to a nationwide protest. 41 people were killed. God forbid it happens. I like to list these things so that our leaders will
forget history.
understand that we do not want history to repeat itself.
Yeah.
The French Revolution had the spurring of hunger. In 1788, French was scourged by a deleterious winter resulting in widespread famine. Citizens were seized by hunger. Then the rest is history. Riots broke out in some cities. In Africa, even there was bread revolution. Why always bread? You remember I shared the example of bread in Tunisia. In Sudan, it was bread that caused it. The consequence of that revolution today is Sudan is in the throes of a civil war. Arab Spring, Tunisia bread riots were also some of the fashioning of hunger. And you were asking, why always bread? Even flour right now is expensive. A lunch,
Yes.
a bag of sugar is around there, 80,000 around thereabout.
Mm.
So the thing is, the government, they said they're currently working on it, but let us show workings. Show workings. It's important. The cost of basic food items required for sustenance of an average Nigerian family is already above the minimum wage mark, which is rice. A bag of rice is around 65, 60, 66,000 naira,
70?
70 now. So it is most elemental that we find a way to cut the cost of living. Nigerians have to eat, even if we are facing insecurity and
Let's
other
eat.
issues. Let us eat.
That's it. Very
Allow
vital.
us eat.
Okay, it's no longer
It's very-
allow us to breathe.
Yeah,
we have moved
eat
now.
too.
It's eat.
It's eat. We need to draw the line from this morning because of our time. But Nigerians in South Africa have been warned to be careful
Tone
against
down.
wild jubilation, especially as Nigeria is facing South Africa tomorrow. You know, we've had history of xenophobia attacks in South Africa, and you know, its security situation against insecurity against South Africans. Oh, sorry, against Nigerians. It's very fragile in South Africa. So lines are open. Let's have your thoughts this morning. 0809 666 0943 or 0708 000 0918. Also, join the conversation by sharing your thoughts on the WhatsApp platform. The WhatsApp line is 0809 666 0943. Those are the numbers for you to participate on the show this morning. It seems just one of the lines is responding, but we'll see to that. But if you cannot reach out to us because of the poor network, you can join the conversation on the Facebook page. And don't forget, we're streaming live on YouTube. Yes, indeed, for those asking about the streaming platform, we're working on it. We're working so hard on it. Or you can join the conversation on our YouTube page, Enyimba TV on YouTube. All right, Enyimba TV on YouTube, so you can check us there. Ebube Dike is watching live on YouTube, and Okechukwu Timothy is also watching live on YouTube. Let's see if this will pull through this morning. Hello, good morning to you. All right. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Michael.
Yes, sir, Mr. Uchena. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine. I think.
We are also fine.
Yeah, very man, my sister. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, my name is Richard Messina, aka Backup Person. I'm calling from Orata Timber Market this morning. My sister was saying, you see, what is happening in Abia State? I have not seen a government that lies with propaganda that to compare that with this government of society. Do you remember the federal government led by President Tinubu sent food palliative rights to state governors, House of Reps, senators? Where is those palliative? Do you remember that 2 billion sent to other states, which have not been given account? I know that the remaining money has been spent. I've forgotten when that money was spent, but I know that that money was spent. None of this money has been accounted. Do you know that Abia State allocation has increased people since Dr. Alex has been in office as a governor of the state. Which of the sector or ministry that their salary has increased since the government has been in office? So, let me also remind you that this government promised to run a transparent government. There is no transparency. The road and the contract you've been awarded. How much are you awarding them? What is going on?
All right.
This is the worst ever government I've ever seen in my whole lifetime. And
All right, Mr. Uche, now quickly wrap up your thoughts.
Don't listen to me. You know what I'm about. People that are protesting, like recycle people, when they meet with that group, they will be very nominal. Hey, well, when able governor, see these people, what is this government that brought apples? These people, I don't know what is wrong with them.
All right, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. 0708 000 0918 0809 666 0943. Those are the numbers for you to participate on the show. The lines are very, very, very bad this morning, talking about the network. At some point, we were struggling to even hear Mr. Uchenna there. Hello, good morning to you.
Michael.
Comrade, how are you doing this morning?
Thank you so much. Good morning, sir.
You're welcome.
How are you?
I'm very fine.
Yeah, Lady May, my beloved sister. How are you?
Good morning to you. I'm fine, thank you.
Yes, Michael, let me just use the opportunity to talk about the issue of Aba North State constituency. Michael, it's very, very pathetic that our judiciary have made our democracy to look like we are running a centered democracy. Because for me, what happened in Aba North is not supposed to happen. We are somebody whom we know very well, who cannot win even his own family. He can win an election there. Who will come from backyard to claim that he wants to go and represent us in Aba North House of Assembly. You get this right? Because where we are in Abia is not where we're supposed to be before now. It's because of the same Akalelu people. The way they are running Abia State how many years ago, they want to continue reading the state ladder. It's not can never happen. Let us go to test them. Because we have to move forward. You don't play truth. Michael, you have been in Abia since how many years? When you are working in Flow FM in Omaya, go there now and see what is happening there. You will go to Ebonyi State. You will feel happy that you are in Ebonyi State. You will go to Akwa Ibom. You will feel happy you are in Akwa Ibom State. When you enter Abia, before now, Abia looks like a graveyard. But you have to move the state forward.
All right, comrade.
So, please, Michael, before I drop, what the judiciary is trying to face in Abia State House of Assembly, Aba North, is quite unfortunate. Let our judiciary be rejected. They are not doing the right thing because of Akalelu. It's very, very bad.
All right.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. That word Akanelu, is it not a transport bus? So how is comrade using it in that context?
Yes, it's Akanelu means, first of all, it means it's not original.
Okay.
I think that's like the literal.
But I know the bus. That's those mini buses. As Akanelu.
No, that's not what they are. Akanelu are this when you don't go to a particular transport company.
Okay.
You follow all these
roadside. You won't go to the park.
Original, like.
Okay, I understand that. Yes. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am Chukuma calling from Port Harcourt.
You're welcome, Chukuma.
Thank you. The issue of insecurity in Ekiti State Mike, your state. I don't know, it's becoming too alarming. I can vividly remember that the year 2008/9, Abia State was no go area. You cannot come to Abia State. Even if you have even jet, you cannot come with it because that time was so hot in Abia State. And despite the federal government intervention, I don't know that Abia would have been known in any place now. What was the duty of federal government? What is their duty on a issue? Monarchs have been died, students have been kidnapped, because I can remember that time, the student that was going to Akwa Ibom, that was how Abia is redeemed. The then governor of Akwa Ibom, the now Senate president, he laments, he cried and shouted. The neighboring daughter of the state, shout on what is happening to the neighboring village. What is happening in Ekiti State now that the federal government set on it, they don't want to do something tangible for the life of the people. And they will tell us that the security is to secure people and the property, while people are dying day in, day out.
All right.
People have lost confidence on them. So they are not giving the people what we need.
All right.
They're supposed to do something. They're supposed to do something. Because such things have happened in so many places before. So let them do something. In terms of about issue, let them know what to do. They said that the court is the last hope of a common man. When the court have said this is the person in no way, as long as they have said it, please let them follow this process. Right. They are the lawmakers, and the judiciary are the people to practice it. When the judiciary has done it, they're supposed to obey. What would the common man in cemetery or market will do with this money?
All right. Thank you.
Then we go carry to it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do appreciate you. Just to add to the topics that we've listed this morning, we understand there was a fire incident at Zuku Market yesterday, affecting a couple of shops. So it's very important that we are careful this
Zuku
time.
Market?
Yes.
That's Cemetery Market?
Yes, Cemetery Market. It's Zuku Market. And I don't know how I missed that. In fact, we had the eyewitnesses also talk to news guys, but maybe that will be part of the bulletin anyways for today. So just to bring you up to speed on that. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, sir.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Cool boy.
I'm reporting from State Plaza.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, I'm it's issue at government house. Abia State House of Assembly. That is not what. The problem here is that my own analysis from what I understand that is going on there. You know, there was back and forth before the Speaker of House of Assembly. There was a lot of, something that would have bring confusion in that office. Sorry. Then the person because of PDP, I have up to 11 members candidates. Labour Party have 10 candidates, and also YPP and all the rest. So finally, it was happened that the Labour Party was choose to be the speaker. And you know, now if you Aaron Uzodike now become a member, you know, the number of that Labour Party have short. Understand? So that is what I'm thinking, that is trying to, bring a police or a stumbling block to the swelling in of Aaron Uzodike. That's to me, because I've cross-checked the number. And if that's what happened, that is to say that the Conservative State House of Assembly will be removed. And to me, it seems that is what they are trying to say. What I have to contribute there is that they should do the right thing. Let the right thing be done. Let the right thing be done. Away from this, because of the time. Niger Delta was protested yesterday because of the cost of living. My brothers and sisters, the cost of living is too high. Let our government stop this palliative of the dead. Do the next one. What is the problem of the cost of the living? It's because of insecurity. Our farmers could no longer go to their farm to crop they could no longer go to their bank to harvest.
All right.
Before they go to their bank to harvest, they have to pay taxes and all the rest. That is what I so let our government do the next one. That is
All right,
my side.
cool.
Because of
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you.
Do appreciate you for sharing your thoughts with us. And on the Facebook page and WhatsApp now, Temple from Abbas says the people holding offices present and past should tender apologies for mismanaging our economy, not trading blames. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Michael.
Evangelist Tundu KC, how you doing this morning? Hello.
I'm well.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, it's a very good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Evangelist. You're welcome.
Yeah, I want to start by talking about Honorable Destiny Character's matter. That the PDP replied, see, all of us were shocked when there was such fight from the other party. Knowing fully well that there has been a president maybe that is Atiku versus Shetta. Talking about the party affair. That was at the court and that was set up judgment because of their finance. We were all shocked. The appellate court and they have set a precedent. And this is Honorable Destiny Aka is invoking the judgment of the Supreme Court. And the same thing is happening in Plateau State. So when we're talking about the only lawmakers that we're talking about, but the Plateau State is still lawmakers. And the speaker there has never spoken better people because of this. There is press set at the Supreme Court. But there is nothing. And it wants card to play. That's what I'm trying to. So it's like Mary. Everybody is aware that something owns this car. And they are now splitting it to you, Michael. Michael is very that owns this car. So you will be very reluctant to take this car. Now, that is what is happening to Aaron. You know, then on the security in Niger, in Niger, I have said this before. This federal government failed to understand the level we are in suffering here. We are talking about what us here before that we have passed the level of patience. During Buhari, we were in endurance. Now we are not suffering. That is the final thing. It is 15 days out. That is airing now. That's going on in this country. There will be problems.
Thank you. Thank you. There are some comments on the YouTube page this morning. We appreciate you that you're joining us on YouTube, even though it's not the normal or the usual streaming platform. But then as soon as we fix the Facebook page, we will start streaming on the Facebook again. Daniel Kalu is watching from South Korea. Georgia Kioma watching from Aba. Ebubedike saying the network is nice. Thank you. Josephat saying good morning. And Samuel here is saying that we should restore the Facebook live stream because many people cannot access this page. We will definitely do that and we're on it. Thank you so much. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, Michael. Good morning.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
All
right. Thank you for joining us.
Mary, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Michael, I want to talk about the protests that happened at
Niger State.
You see, my brother, these people we call our refuse to understand that they are dealing with human beings, not animals. You see, this issue of rising of everything in the market is affecting everybody. But the government will not tell me the reason about it. They just close their mouth, and because they are living in their luxurious life, I don't care about the ordinary citizens. It's really alarming. I just believe that this is happening in the state. Because it's happening, the hacking is everywhere. So the protests should go around the state. Well, that's Nigeria for you. We just have to deal with it.
Yes, indeed.
Mary, I believe you are still believing on the boys, Mary.
Yes, I am.
It's tomorrow.
I'm also believing on the boys.
Since when?
I'm believing in them.
Since when?
So you don't start believing in them now.
Somehow.
You want to believe in them today. I just believe you're not being got bad luck.
It's okay. Thank you so much. We appreciate you for sharing your thoughts with us. Okay, on the WhatsApp platform, Nelson John Africa says, protests rocking some part of Nigeria because of the hardship and insecurity. My brother, what is happening in Nigeria? How did we get here? Where are Nigeria government? Or where is Nigeria government? What happened to the promises they made during the campaigns? The vice president told us that if he's been elected in 6 months, they would end insecurity. Now, how far? You can't sleep with 2 eyes closed because of unknown hardship everywhere. Everywhere since APC took over power from PDP. And if I'm to go for the statement of Mbaka, no hope. All right, Ugo Ezewanka says it's imperative that the speaker comes out with the position of the House on this issue. Yeah, yes, indeed, I agree with you, Ugo. Hello, good morning to you. Hello. Okay, if you call, we'll appreciate if you call back. Charles Okwan says the country is facing serious economic woes. The direction President Tinubu's administration is going economically is obviously not favorable to average citizens. Government needs to reduce the high cost of living, reduce the cost of governance, revisit its economic policies with focus on the poor masses condition. The country needs economic empowerment for optimal boosts to the economy. Godfrey Wanko from Shoe Plaza says, you see, those kidnappers are being sponsored by some big heads in this country. If police can track those big heads, this kidnapping will stop. The government should come and tell us what we want to hear. Good morning. Just pray that God will continue to protect you, because even if you reduce your constant traveling, you could become a victim the very day you decide to travel. Genesis Uba. Oh, that's true. That's very true. Some persons were even picked up in their houses.
Yeah. That's Abuja story.
In Abuja. That's quite unfortunate. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Hello, we can hear you. Yes, sir. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Chief Onoha. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you, Chief Onoha. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I've been listening quietly to your issues today. I want to just contribute on what is happening in Nigeria. You see, government is just like a family. If you bring a policy in your family, it doesn't work, or it didn't work, you revise. If the cost of living is just because of this fuel increment, I accosted one Hausa man that sells deals in yam. He said that the cost of a trailer load of yam is about ₦1 million. But the cost of sending it from north to here is about almost 3 million. Cost of transport alone, making it 4 million on the road. That's why you see a tuber of yam 4,000, 3,000.
So the problem is not even the yam. The
It's
problem
the
is transporting the
transportation.
yam.
Wow.
I know that's right. That's what I'm saying. Transportation, cost of taking it down here. That's what I'm saying. Government should revise their policy of subsidy removal. If eventually they revise the subsidy removal, every aspect of the economy will revise. That's my simple contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you. But there is this argument that if they reverse this policy, there will be nothing left to even run governance in the country. That's the argument. That subsidy payment is taking a large chunk of our revenue, up to 70% of what we're making of 80. You may even use, when we were paying something, then NPC was not remitting anything now. NNPC wasn't remitting anything. So that's the argument from the government.
Have they started remitting?
Yes, I'm not sure. I will have to double check. But that's the argument. And the issue here is about having something left for infrastructure and other things. But are we even seeing those things? Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Oni
Yes,
and Mary, my sister, the boss of Okoran once again.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
Thank you. Let me say this. The Speaker of Abia State House Assembly should respect the rule of law. If the court has said that Odudigeron is the member-elect for Abanot, he should swear him in. This is the content of court. And if this goes on, he should be arrested for disobeying the court. It is unlawful for for Akalaka to still remain in the house. After 2 months, he was removed by the court. It's undemocratic. Alex Otti should wait in to avoid seeing Abia as a lawless place. Having said that, I know that Tinubu will not perform. I know that too well. Nigeria never voted for him. He found his way to power with INEC chairman. That's what we are experiencing. But I show him that God will never let people down. Because God owns Nigeria. Nigeria belongs to nobody. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you for sharing.
Once again.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Julius Chike is watching from Jerusalem, Israel. It's on the YouTube page saying that we should create a platform where those in diaspora can call in. Right, we'll do justice to that. And Prince Okoro is saying you guys are doing well. Still saying we should restore the Facebook page. Okay, Comrade Elijah saying good morning. Thanks for the preaching this morning. If federal government really wants to track these hoodlums, they will. How on earth will kidnappers collect millions of naira ransom? Yet we are yet to see the security agencies tracking them down. One thing I know in telecommunications is that irrespective of where you are calling from, there is room for your line to be tracked. On the other hand, the cost of goods and services are increasing hourly, not even on daily, because those selling the commodities are calling their suppliers hourly. Honor Woody 10th is saying, what is happening? Why is it that presidency and security personnel are not blinking while their citizens are being robbed and killed on daily basis? How can a trend as deadly as kidnapping is on the increase in the country and no solution has been proffered? Honor Woody 10th there. All right, let's see if this will pull through. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike and Mary.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Chinazo from Port Harcourt.
You're welcome, Chinazo.
Good morning.
Yes, on the intensity of kidnapping and terrorism in this country, if you observe very, very well, ants are being shifted from our forest borders in the north, down south. That's what is happening now. Because there's a calculated plan to set Nigeria ablaze, and it has religious implications. So security agents should put their eyes on the ball. They should take their eyes from the ball. They should start, instead of collecting 200 naira, 200 naira from these vehicles, they should start all the lorries coming down here. They're spreading. Okay, you know that Puna one that are going to make trouble. Their leaders are not released. Did you hear that? That Puna national movement. They are the problem we have in this country, not the problem. Okay. Then the government should start themselves. Like it's not that the person that is part of the content of this terrorism. They should get the very, very well. And get over people. Those people he said that he said that he saw that they look very, very, very hard. They are the green doors and clavities of kidnapping. Their masters are waiting for their results. And the millions are continuing to do some people. It's for the purpose. So the government should watch it. The government has really set up money. Their plan is so they are not in power.
All right.
To stop other people's work. But God is greater than them. God will deal with them. Thank you very much and God bless.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Some unsubstantiated claims that you're reeling out this morning. I don't know where you got those from. But I know, I'm usually very careful in stereotyping crime.
Yes.
To a particular ethnic group.
Mm-hmm.
Crime is everywhere. Some reverend fathers were kidnapped in one of the states of the Federation. In the South here, do you know that it was the financial secretary that was being fingered as the one that championed the kidnapping of those reverend fathers? Financial secretary of the church, of the same church, is from that same state. I'll find out.
Financial secretary, that means he has an idea of how much the church has and everything.
We understand some other factors surrounding insecurity in the country. There's some killer headsmen and the likes, but stereotyping it to a particular ethnic group is what I will not support, because there is crime everywhere. There is one popular saying in Yoruba that Ti ole ita oba wole ole
If it's
Hold
me
on,
now,
just a
I
moment.
should hold on.
I'm trying to
Diego.
hold on now.
I'm holding on.
You won't allow me talk. You
You don't
covering
know
my
your
mouth.
language. I am covering your mouth. Your own language. You are T-Ole. You are thinking your own language proverb.
See, let me interpret it. There is a compromise somewhere. If there is no compromise, there is the thief coming from outside will not be able to enter.
That's
the
okay.
house.
No, but okay, no, na man.
That was exactly what I want to say now. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
How are you?
I'm fine.
I always like your way. On the streets from Oma here to Abba here.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
I like the way you perform your analysis.
Thank you.
What I want to say is that nobody will blame LSOT for anything. That man is doing a marvelous things in this other state, both over here. Even last night, I walked through Mba Road. Everywhere is light. Nothing like insecurity or something like that. No one can say this is the worst government we have seen ever. Only that nobody's above mistake, or somebody must make a mistake. And I know this is a Gregory government. More, the government will pick on the whole force that previous government offend. So what I'm saying is, Michael, I love you.
Thank you. Thank you. Do appreciate you. Thank you for your good words there.
Yeah.
All right. Braveheart says, I'm not happy this morning. I lost my good friend who was a police officer as a result of this insecurity. Was butchered in cold blood in Aba. I would advise those who can afford the bulletproof cars should buy and guide themselves. Do not depend on the government. That's for those that can buy. What if you cannot afford Braveheart? Talking about bulletproof cars.
Isn't that drawing attention to
do you know that the demand for bulletproof vehicles has risen?
Yes.
The demand for bulletproof cars in Nigeria has risen, and of course it's only for those that can afford it anyways. Okay, Confab from MCC says, according to international standards, any insecurity that lasts more than 24 hours means government is bad. I don't know where this particular quote is coming from. It is not true. Which internationals? Which standard? Secondly, the comment our governors made about the hardship facing the country, that Nigeria has the lowest food price in the whole Africa, means that the governors are insensitive. Instead of looking for solutions to solve the alarming issues, they are giving us comparative theory. I wish the government can just rise up and do needful, which is to give us good governance. Thank you so much, Confab, for sharing your thoughts. I'm testing from Bakassi, please. You should make things easier for us to be affordable. All right, there's no name there. Ben Okule, he says, look at in the country, people are crying because of food, and there is nothing government can do about it. Very sad. Very sad. No hope for the poor man, and he's calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Ken Abbas from Abbas says, Niger's residents protesting high cost of food living. This is a right step in the right direction. It has choked on Nigerians. A bag of 50 kg rice is heading to 70,000. Poverty has gotten to the neck of an average Nigerian. Where do we go from here? Nigerians should rise up. And if people in the north are complaining, you can imagine what the southeastern people are passing through. May God help us. This one says, the poverty in the land is too much. And Mr. Ronaldo from Overall Police say, please let's introduce voice notes. Kudos to YouTube live stream. Thank you. We're going to look at that. We're still even finding a way to allow those in diaspora to contribute. So, okay, let's go from area. People protesting in Niger State because of insecurity and hunger. It is now starting small. Federal government should do something fast. And this one says about football game. Organization of African Unity have to warn South Africa stop threatening Nigerians. Then Mike and Mary, you are talking about increasing agricultural proceeds, but you forget about terrorists, bandits don't allow farmers go to farms. This government has to look at the security situation with seriousness. Udo from Obohill. Let's head straight to the Facebook page to run through comments on the Facebook platform this morning.
All right, Gabriel Olata says, good morning, Michael and Mary. My heart bleeds whenever I hear abduction of innocent Nigerians. I mean, most of these things happen in broad daylight. There is unfortunately no confrontation whatsoever from security agencies. President Tinubu has a lot of forces to contend with, and that should be done really fast. As security agencies need to be thoroughly equipped with enough manpower and firepower to be able to tackle this menace of insecurity in Nigeria. Ono the 10 says, please, there is no fresh air anymore to breathe in Nigeria. Please, how did we get here, and who is going to save us from the hands of APC government? There is hunger in the land and everyone is confused and helpless. Ifan Excel Wanchuku says, all the headlines you guys put out this morning from the various happenings in Nigeria is big enough to spoil someone's day. God, which kind of country is this? A country where leaders lack shame? God forbid bad thing. I wish everyone a happy and wonderful day and be safe out there. Charles Onya Dokban says, Abia PDP laments non-surrendering of their member. Most conflicting post-election litigation judgments issued by judiciary has such resultant effects. That judgment seems not a unanimous judgment, and that makes it a conflicting judgment for the House. And Engineer Brighton Savannah says, good morning about ambassadors. I don't normally agree with PDP, but I am lending my voice today as asking the speaker to swear in Aaron, since the court has said so. For Aaron's silence, I feel that he's feeling guilty because it is said that one should not drag what does not belong to him with his two hands. Osadike knows very well that Destiny Nwangu won the election massively, and that's why Destiny's voice was louder than that of Aaron. But I want the governor to wade into this matter because he's the leader of Labour Party here in Abia, and this does not say good of his image. Insecurity has been ravaging every part of the country, and our president is chilling in a country that has adequate security. I pray that he gets to him and his friends. I understand that prayer. Kingsley Uchechukwu Brand says, on the issue of non-surrendering of Aaron Ozodike as a lawmaker in Abia State House of Assembly, all I can tell Honorable Destiny Nwangu is he who goes to APT should go with clean hands. Tomorrow is unpredictable. What goes around comes around. And on the Osimhen battle in our upcoming match, personally, I think this is a mind game Nigerian team is playing with the South African team. Ibe Ebulam Chiremezi says, the governors are not being truthful and sincere. With the arable land and climate weather of Nigeria, we should have food sufficiency. Nigeria is doing below expectations in all facets. Nwachukwu Kennedy Chinedu says, good morning, everyone in the studio. Abia PDP lamenting non-surrendering of Aaron is laughable and unbelievable. Anyway, I'm urging them to remain in the boys' quarters for now till 2027. Tempoli Umeda says, good morning, MO and MM. This country called Nigeria is so laughable. Can you see the kind of people you people have as leaders and governors? That food items are cheap here as to compare to other country. Oyana, as we can now see, it's only football that unites this country called Nigeria. I believe Osimhen will be at the front come tomorrow's game.
Osimhen has stomach discomfort too.
In River State, this is how the movie will be going till 4 to 8 years. Chibuzo Solomon says, good morning, my good people in the studio. Gunmen abduction again. Che, what a country. And the so-called governors forum saying that food is cheapest in Nigeria, in all West Africa, amidst all this crisis. God help us in this country, because from the look of things, no one is safe anymore. Chimeze Bansley says, Mike Oni, good morning. I felt just like laughing this morning. Imagine Abia PDP would only wait until you push them to talk first before the talk. Nash Maxwell says, good morning, Michael Oni and Mary May. I'm Nash Maxwell, testing from Okwa West. What is this country actually turning into? In all kinds of acts happening around us, this issue of kidnapping and gunmen is taking a strong measure, and yet federal government has nothing to do about it. But they are busy holding Mass in Nnamdi Kanu in DSS custody. There is God. Gospel Jonathan says, good morning, Michael and Apostle Mary May. Osimhen will be back for the game between South Africa and Super Eagles. We need him in that game. Not that we don't have other players. I'm wishing them good luck. Nduko Ojupi says, good morning, Oni and Mary. About the football game, Organization of African Unity have to warn the South Africans by threatening Nigerians in South Africa, or they will be banned from football. Ona Haikechku says, food cheapest in Nigeria compared to other countries, according to our governors. I pray to God to give you people conscience and kind heart to know that the people you are governing are passing through hell. James Phillips says, good morning, Enyimba family. I supported and voted Labour Party from top to bottom. But as far as appeal court has nullified the election of Destiny Akaraka, let them obey the law and swear in Aaron Ozodike. Chikeze is saying, wow, I also served in Olama Boru. Ogugu precisely. Oh, okay. I served in Adupi. Zoe Osuji says, good morning, Oga Mike and Co. I am Uche Sahako from Morata Timber Market. Mike, people came out to protest about high cost of food in the nation, and some other people are proud saying that food is cheap in Nigeria to compare to other countries, which means they don't care about us in this country. No problem. My prayer is that God will help us as we people try to help ourselves. But Oga Mike, please try to see some food stuff places and see things for yourself.
Visiting it is not going to reduce the price of those items.
I think he just wants you to have a feel of exactly what is happening.
I eat.
You buy already made ones.
Because you made fufu and egusi soup yesterday.
I leave that one. I can cook if it's that. But let's move on. Jebe Evong says, high cost of living sparks protests. Point one of the federation should do something before something do us. Ma Olabara says, we have never had it this bad. Nigerians earnestly prayed God to rescue us from bad rulers and bad governance. It is now that we realize that those were better days compared to what we see now, and our eyes bleed. The poor masses are impoverished to the extent that they cannot afford rags to wipe dry their tears. How did we get here? May we never pass through this again. Chiemeka Sonny says, so is the clans on Twitter the reason for Naira falling? I don't just know why God is allowing this kind of people govern us. A generator I bought at 220,000 last year, December, is now sold 280,000. And our president, he can't even do anything to strengthen our Naira. And with no shame, our VP is talking about valueless words. Ugoeze Nwaka says, Fubara should take the bulls by the horn. He's a governor now. He should stamp his feet on the ground and let all and sundry realize that he is the ombudsman of River State presently. Ishak Ahmed says, good morning, Enyimba. Governor saying food is cheapest in Nigeria is not good. They are looters of treasuries. That is why they wouldn't know what of the economy of the nation. Uzoma Gomez says, testing from Ugirimba. Good morning, Enyimba. How would government kidnap passengers on board 2 buses while our service chiefs are having meetings with Tinubu? Does it mean that these bandits can be tracked even with our Tucano jets and helicopters? Very, very sad indeed.
All right, those are the messages. We do appreciate you for joining us today on the show. DJ Spicy Clef is already waiting by the corner to serenade you with good music from now till 11 o'clock when Good Morning Enyimba show continues with the conversation. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on the show. My name is Michael Oni.
And I'm Mary here, Jerica. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Enyimba FM 94.3 Aba.